welcome the brand ambassadors of the Indian Air Force, the Sarang Helicopter Display Team.
So welcome to our podcast, You Are Limitless, You Are Limitless, sir. So ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much, Vihan.
Sir, when I heard the name Sarang, it was a pretty unique name that I had come across, for an aerobatic team. What is the history behind or the background behind getting this name?
Okay, so Sarang, is basically, it means in Sanskrit peacock, which is our national bird. So peacock, when it is excited, so it is, it dances and, it's very beautiful to watch it. So the genesis of keeping the name Sarang is that if you want to know how we all started was it was back in 2002 is where we started as basically we were an experimental team there. We were testing the aircrafts if we can reach those limits and do these aerobatics, and then we realized that we are able to do all of these things, and it was indigenously developed by HAL. So it was inspiring and we wanted to do something like that. Obviously we were, I think, kids back then, so our forefathers have put in a lot of hard work and blood and sweat into building this team up.
Yes, sir.
So that is how
So the team having the name Sarang, sir, do any of the formations correlate with the name, ma'am?
Formation as such we don't correlate the name, but yeah, the Sarang is the name of the team.
Yeah, koi inspiration?
We relate by
for
the paint scheme. You
Yeah,
see the paint
yeah. So
Look at the aircraft and you will find one peacock also there. So that's how we relate with Sarang. We do all the peacock type dancing and all,
Yes, sir.
all the good aerobatics, and our paint scheme is like peacocks, like our national bird. So in a way we are representing Make in India before it was in trend. So we started doing it in 2002 only.
And sir, sir, ma'am, you have been flying for a long time, almost all over the country. What was your first flight experience like?
Well, our experience starts back in the academy. That is after completing the initial bit of training when we start flying. And in fact, this is the alma mater where we are of all the helicopter pilots in the country, which is the helicopter training school right behind us. And the aircraft which you see parked outside are the Chetak helicopters, which are the first ones that all of us fly when we choose and we get the stream of becoming a helicopter pilot. So definitely it's very nostalgic here, and flying any aircraft is a very beautiful experience, and especially a helicopter, because you're more in connect with what you're doing, more in connect with how, because you're flying much closer to the earth, and you can see much better, and it's a different experience altogether. And it starts off with admiration, and then it builds on to a lot of responsibility, especially as a military aviator.
Sir?
again, I've also had the same journey. We all started in the academy, and then we shifted to helicopter training school. This is our alma mater, so it feels really nice to come here and do the display, especially for the public and as well as for the passing out cadets at AFA. My first experience, it's unofficial, but I would like to still quote it. My instructor, he took me straight into the clouds, and he gave me that experience of how it feels, being beside the clouds. So it was really good. If you ask about Sarang, it was 2 years back when I first got into the aircraft. I was really astonished as to how maneuverable the aircraft is, and especially, we always tend to underestimate what India, makes. It could be any product. So even I had my own apprehensions, but when I started flying the aircraft, I realized it's very capable. And I've come into this team after a lot of flying experience. So flying as such did not change, but yes, it was a different experience. And flying this aircraft was really satisfying.
Sir?
So my first flying experience was when I was back in NDA. I flew Super Dimona, and Pune as such, is a very beautiful city.
Yeah.
So first time I got airborne, and I was just, instead of flying, I was just looking outside and all, and since then I've never looked back. It always feels good to fly to the old places where you have been, like we are flying over here in HTS, where I spent almost 1 year of my life, and now again coming here flying again. It's nothing which can be expressed in words, especially for me, I feel.
Yes, sir. And sir, you mentioned that you had joined the Sarang team about 2 years ago. So before that, were you combat fighters, sir?
So what happens is, very beginning of our flying careers, we are bifurcated, stroke trifurcated into our different streams of aircraft, basically either helicopters or transport or fighters. I've been in helicopters throughout. I was flying a different aircraft, Mi-17 V5. I have flown across the nation, done various operations, done anti-Naxal operations as well. So this is a different sort of flying, and I always long to be here. I have a photo of me as a cadet with Sarang in the background. I still keep it in my, it's displayed in my house. So it's very inspiring. I always wanted to be a part of the team, and it feels really nice to be here. It's a very good team. We're all together all the time, having a good time, and that is what is needed to be a good team, because you got to blindly trust the other person when you're in the air. You're so close to each other, and the maneuvers are quite difficult and takes a toll when you're flying for 15 minutes. So trust and the team spirit should exist in the team, and we do that.
Sir, you had also mentioned about the maneuverability of the flights or the helicopters.
Yeah.
So are they like kind of different to how combat helicopters function, sir?
Not really. To be honest, combat aircrafts are made maneuverable, but you see the ALH aircraft has other variants also. So ALH Mark 4 is a attack helicopter. So when in attack role, it is supposed to be maneuverable so that you can get away and you can do these dive attacks and everything. So this aircraft is Mark 1 version. This is how we started, and then we have slowly progressed on to. If you see Mark 4, it is the same, almost the same airframe. There are certain changes in the instrumentation. It's a little more modern. It has MFDs, it has digital display, and it has weaponized version. It is a weaponized version, so it is maneuverable. And what we display here is what it actually can do. The kind of banks that we can put, and then the rate of turn that we can generate and everything. So these are quite similar in the other variants also.
So just slight tweaks are there.
Yeah, it is basically a more modern aircraft.
Yeah.
But most of the maneuverability is the same.
Sir, you had mentioned, like how unity and teamwork is really important when performing such aerobatics.
Yeah.
So what kind of activities, like do you engage in separate kind of activities for teamwork, sir, in like training and all?
To be honest, when you come into the team, like I'll just pass the mic to her, she'll be able to relate it. When you come into the team, you're given a very comfortable environment to grow and to learn, and it is not like any other unit. It is a very different unit, because we don't want anybody to feel that they are not a part of the team. We always get together, and we have a good time. So it really helps build camaraderie and team spirit. So I've been here a part of part of Sarang for 2 years. She's relatively new, and he's also spent about 6-7 months in the team, so they'll be able to relate. What have you experienced?
So basically, this is almost everybody's at least the second posting. So everybody is coming here with an adequate amount of flying experience. So they have a lot of operational flying behind them before they come here for the selection trials, and they're handpicked to be a part of this team, because you require yourself a certain amount of team and temperamental suitability to be a part of this. And it is very important for us to feel at ease with what we are doing, which is the intent of everybody who becomes a part of the unit, and somebody new who comes. It is very important because everybody is starting from ground level zero. Everybody is from the medium lift helicopter background. Both of us are from the single engine background, and we have varied flying experience. Sir has flown over the Naxal area. I've flown over the Siachen Glacier. He's flown extensively in the hills. So we bring in a lot of different experience onto the table, and because of the environment that everybody creates in the unit, it is very important to have lateral learning. And that is how you build a very trusting relation. That is how you build a relation which does not have too much of pressure, which allows you to learn and perform together as a team.
About team building, we don't do any specific training exercise per se, but the crux is we do everything together, starting from ground crew to the pilots to the engineers. Everybody is always together. So it's not like that just the camaraderie exists between the pilots and all. It's same with the ground crew, starting from junior most ground crew up till our team leader. We have all the same camaraderie, and team building happens like that only. You go through everything as a team, starting from the junior most guy to the senior most guy. That's how we build everything. That's how we build the trust among each other.
That's absolutely amazing, sir. So, were there any in your career as a flying officer, sir? Were there any like kind of mayday movements that happened, sir? You know, like dangerous या खतरनाक moments.
Yeah, there have been a few, but yeah, I don't recall them anymore now. So every pilot has those mayday moments. It can be different for everybody. With someone with less experience, it can be a different moment. Someone with more experience, it can be a different moment. So that is, there are a lot many.
Ma'am, sir,
Nothing specific I want to tell.
Well, as is already brought out, that it is very different to people with different experiences, because military aviation is very different from the civil aviation. So the challenges that are presented to you per se are very varied and different, and very, very challenging terrains that we as helicopter pilots, military aviators fly in. Like you've already seen, heard from Sir that he's flown actively in the Naxalite area in the thick of all the action, and he's flying in mountains is not an easy task at all, because you're at higher altitude. So he's done that. He has an exposure that at a very young age. I have flown extensively in the mountains, and I've flown in the Siachen Glacier, where you're flying on the third pole of the world. That is what it is called. It's still an active battlefield. So of course there will be moments, small, big, which always forms a part of your experiences, but they're also mitigated by the kind of training we have and the kind of outlook we have towards military aviation.
Mayday as such, when you mention Mayday, it is a call that we give when we when our aircraft is literally going to just crash land, or when the aircraft is not in control. So to be honest, in the 10.5 years of my flying career, I'm thankful that I have not had such a situation where I'm having to plonk the aircraft anywhere. But the conditions when we are flying in we fly across the nation, so the weather is very peculiar all across the country. I'm sure you know about it. So flying in different weather is very challenging. See, throughout we are based in Sulur. We may have to fly to Delhi, and in winters the visibility reduces. So there are various such conditions that we come across. So yes, we've had our own share of difficult moments, but today we are standing here, so we've come out of it. It was primarily due to our training and going back to basics. They always say, when you falter at times, go back to your basics. So the basics have always taught you to do the right thing. So I think all of us standing here safe today is primarily because we've had situations. I wouldn't say nobody has faced it, everybody faces it, but we've come out because we've always gone back to basics and we've done the right thing.
Ma'am, one more question. Like, as an NCC cadet, I feel like asking it. Do any one of you guys have any NCC background?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I was in NCC. I was a part of the Tamil Nadu Andaman Nicobar Directorate, and I was an Army Wing cadet, and I finished my RD camp in 2011. I was the All India Best Cadet Gold Medalist SW, and then I went for the Youth Exchange Program in the same year. And after that, once I finished my engineering, and I appeared through AFCAT, and I got here. So I've had 3 years of experience being in the NCC. I was the company senior under officer, and so I did adequate amount of camps, and of course marched the Rajpath. I was the guard commander in 2011.
Oh wow!
So I think it has been the most fulfilling and the most exhaustively achieving part of my life, and especially something that I very fondly remember out of my 3 out of 4 years of my engineering.
That's absolutely amazing to hear, ma'am, because you literally achieved the pinnacle in NCC.
Sorry, I don't have any NCC experience. I have never been to a college, so sadly I don't have any. I went to NDA after 12. So
how was your experience in NDA, sir?
It was good, very good.
Like any one moment that you particularly still remember from?
I told you about my first flying experience.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
And so finally, what would be your words of inspiration to aspiring cadets, sir?
NCC cadets,
aspiring defense cadets, sir?
Just keep doing what you are doing and stay motivated for your aim, whatever it is. Not just defense aspirants,
Yes,
every
sir.
aspirants, especially for defense aspirants, keep doing what you are doing and stay motivated. That's all you will go through.
I think anybody and everybody who's in the NCC already has adequate amount of motivation.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would like to say that hard work never fails you. So hard work is the bedrock of anywhere and any time or anything you want to achieve in life. It's not just professionally but also personally. And never stop growing, never stop dreaming, because it is important to see yourself somewhere. Only then you can make your way to that place, and that is the most important. Most important part of keeping an aim and following it through. We say when we do range in NCC, everybody
Yeah.
says the most important part in life is follow through.
Yes.
So you keep an aim, you start working for it and keep following through, and you will definitely reach somewhere place where you see yourself.
So, to be honest, I think you need to find your own inspiration. All these things that we are doing, or the advertisement you will see here and there, is definitely a part of the organization or the nation's attempt to inspire the youngsters. But see, the inspiration will come from within.
Yes, sir.
So, so I've always done that, and I've always try to inspire myself. It's a everyday battle. So keep doing that, and like everyone, both of them said, you need to keep working towards your goal. Don't dream small, dream big, because only then will you at least be able to reach half of what you dreamt. But I would say go for the sky. Sky is the limit, and I think today sky also is not the limit. People have reached across the space, so space is the limit. So yeah, I would just wish everyone all the best, and I think one more thing that I would like to add is inspire your youngsters. I mean,
Yes, sir.
the youngster crowd when you meet, because I'm sure you also go and meet people, other people who are not in NCC get inspired by looking at you.
Yes, sir.
So you should be an example to them. So I think if you do that, and I think as a nation we are progressing, and you are the youth, you will take the nation forward, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. It's been great having you on the podcast, sir, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We wish you all the best for your future endeavor.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Vihan. Thank you very much, and all the very best to all of you.
Thank you, Vihan. It was very nice meeting you and speaking with you.
Thank you, sir.